think so.
You ready for this first question?
Yes.
All right. Let me find your questions first before we keep going once I ask you the first question.
Okay.
Got it. All right, first question. Tell me who you are, first and last name, and spell it for me. And what you do. See?
Oh, I got that. Lexia, Lexia Crawford, Crawford, Lexia Crawford.
What do you do?
I am a local entrepreneur, business owner of Suite 101, and I also run a nonprofit called 101 Prep.
All right. Speak up just a little bit when you talk.
Okay.
All right. Lexia? See that first question?
That was easy.
You know, some people can't spell their first name sometimes, so you did real good. I promise you did good. All right, let's talk about 101 Prep and how you use this business to teach business ownership.
What we actually do at 101 Prep is we teach young creative entrepreneurs. Most of the students that come through the program are musicians, artists, photographers, designers, and we teach them how not only to flourish in their gifts and talents, we teach them how to actually set up, run, and operate a viable business to give back to the community.
Why is it important to teach young people about the power of entrepreneurship?
Wow, I really think it is the best way to allow our communities to begin to thrive again. It is the best way for kids and young people to learn about themselves, having to run their own business, be dependent on themselves, and be able to turn and tell their peers that you can do it as well. A lot of the students that we deal with are right brain thinkers, and for most of us, we know right brain thinkers are more creative people, they're more sensitive people, they're more emotional people, so a lot of times they end up being the awkward kids in class. They're the kids that people end up teasing and oftentimes, unfortunately, get bullied. And so if we can catch them at an early age and show them the power of their gifts and talents, their God-given gifts and talents, if they can thrive in that, they'll become more confident and they'll share that confidence with their peers.
What made you want to start this?
I was one of those kids.
Were you really?
I was. I was one of those insecure, awkward, creative kids that never knew my power until I was much older. And unfortunately, it came in the form of a mental break last year. And I had already started the program, but I was not thriving in it because, again, I wasn't quite confident in the fact that people would accept the program, join the program, and help support the program. But after that mental break, I discovered my power, and I wanted to help some other kids discover their power much earlier than I did. So that's why I truly started to promote the program.
What's your goal for the business and for the program?
The goal for the business and the program is for other seasoned entrepreneurs and business owners to join in with me in this creative space to allow them to share their knowledge and their power with younger kids so that we can help them become strong, thriving business owners at an earlier age. Let them know that it's okay to be the sensitive, awkward kid.
I've been in business myself almost 20 years now.
Wow.
And what was interesting about it, I tell people, when I was in college, they didn't teach entrepreneurship. You know,
Not at all.
you knew you had it in you to be that, and you went after it, but nobody stopped. But now a lot of the universities are teaching the actual program of entrepreneurship. How did you know within yourself that you had something to make you want to make a business work?
I think a lot of things went into it, Dennis. It was built over time. One, being in a workspace and place that I knew I did not belong after being there 15 years, struggling with simple tasks that used to come easy to me, being intolerant of a lot of the things in the corporate work environment, but not because it was any different than any other environment, but because I no longer fit there. It was no longer the space for me to thrive, and I knew I had so much more to give, especially to young people. I've always had this program. I've always been functioning in this program, but I never knew it was a program to say. It was just what I did. I used to own and operate a boutique off of East Lancaster in Fort Worth. And we used to have kids come through. I used to put on fashion shows, and I'd have kids that come and would want to join in and help with putting the show together. They wanted to run the cameras for the show. And so it just became this thing that people knew us for, especially young people, and they were just drawn to it. And over time, I realized I could do this for these kids and actually make it a program that they can come to and be proud of.
What's the future like?
The future is more young people joining us, like-minded young people, seasoned entrepreneurs coming together in one creative space, allowing all of us to grow our businesses, motivate and help one another, support one another, encourage one another in a safe space, creating a space for awkward, creative kids and people.
How does the program kind of work?
So what we do is every other week we come together for a round table talk, is what we call it. And it's parents, it's kids, it's other entrepreneurs, it's everybody from our creative entrepreneur community coming together, just talking and contributing to one another's issues of the week. As entrepreneurs, we all know that we have challenges. You know, where's the money going to come from? Is it going to be consistent? Am I going to be able to make it this month and pay my bills? Those are real challenges that we all face. And one simple question is, do I have a viable business that the community really needs? And we sit down together and just answer those simple questions for one another. Based on our own experiences, based on our own challenges. And we share the good, the bad, and the ugly. We don't sugarcoat. We don't try to make it all, you know, pie in the sky. It's not. It's a hard life. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It is a challenging space to be in a lot of times, and you've got to have the will and motivation to keep going. And it's just something that's naturally within you. Most entrepreneurs are not created, they just are. I just say an entrepreneur just is, and you know it. You know when you go into other corporate spaces and try to work and function, if it's just not for you, you know that. There's something within you that drives you and tells you, I don't belong here.
What's your community support system like?
We have a lot, like I said, we work with a lot of other business owners that come and help support us. We have connected with the Fort Worth Library. We have some connections with Fort Worth ISD. We have connections with Girls Inc. And so we try to connect with other larger community-based organizations and feed off of them. And also, they help us, we help them. I go in and speak for these organizations. I talk to kids involved in their organization, and we try to help one another. That's the best way I can say it. But we definitely try and stay connected in the community in order to grow our organization as well as their organizations. We give back to them and they give to us.
What's your ages that you work with as far as the beginning of this program?
Ideally 15 to 25, but we, depending on the maturity level of the young person, we'll take them as young as 12. We've had girls enter our fashion program as early as 12 years old. We have a girl we love, Tori, who came to us in our last fashion show. Insecure, had been bullied, really not as confident as we would like to see our girls. She stayed with us through our 6-week program, and when I tell you at the end of that program she was a powerhouse, and she has gone on now with the support of her family and continued support from our program to be one of Fort Worth's finest models. This girl has evolved into an amazing person that you would never even be able to look back and say, is that Tori? She is phenomenal, and I know that we helped her get to that space.
How do you get somebody to turn that corner from coming out of that world, being bullied, being talked down? How do you get them to that point to turn that corner and get them on that path? Is it one key, or it works with the individual?
It is and it is a effort to build them up from the inside out, if that makes sense. Allow them to just be. Allow them to be in a safe space where they're just able to be themselves. And from there, we put them in situations with our program, whether it be a fashion show, a photo shoot, a business mixer. We put them in situations and circumstances that allow them to just be. But in that space, we've taught them to make eye contact, to shake hands, to be present in the moment. Don't think too much about being fearful. Don't think too much about your past experiences. Just be present in the moment and allow yourself to be. And the right people will come to you. The right energy will be drawn to you in those situations. And we do it not by telling them and preaching to them. We do it by situations and circumstances. We just allow them to be in the right spaces at the right time with safe people.
Dealing with young adults and teenagers, what's your biggest challenge when you first step into that with them?
The confidence that they can do it and consistency to show up. We promise them if they show up every week or every assigned moment that we give them or allow them, they will thrive. But they have to show up and be a person of your word. I don't care how old or how young you are, be a person of your word. If you commit to something, stick to it. If you say that you're going to be somewhere, be there. Period. And if you do those things and show up, we will make sure that you get to where you want to be.
So accountability.
Accountability. Accountability. Showing up consistently every time, present in your own space and body.
So you not only just get them within themselves ready, but also you structure a program where they actually establish a business.
Absolutely.
Business plans, the whole nine.
Absolutely.
At that age, is that something that they have a challenge getting into, or they eventually kind of want it and go after it?
They want it and they go after it with my pushing and utterance. Some of the kids come right in. We have a student in the program, Kendall, who has an amazing business that he's already working in and thriving in. He's amazing. He's 16 years old. But this kid, when I tell you, he shows up, he's there. When he says he's going to be there, he commits, and everything we've asked him to do, he's done it. And I tell you, it has been reflected in his business and the growth of it. And what we try to do mainly is just tell the kids that your business is only as, your business will only grow as much as you allow it to. It will either fall by the wayside or it'll continue to thrive and grow as long as you're continuing to thrive and grow. And we just let the kids really set their own path. There are many paths that they can take and go. There are many paths to success is what we tell them. But you orchestrate your own path. All we do is guide you. All we do is guide you. And I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to give you all of my tools and experience. I'm going to try to be the best leader and mentor I can be for you. But you have to show up.
How long has your program been going on?
We established the program in 2016, but again, we've been in business since 2006, working with young people on and off in different capacities. But officially, 2016, we started the program. This year, 2018, has been our greatest growth year. It's been our, I would say, most successful year as far as students sticking with the program, sticking to the structure, and really thriving and really growing their businesses.
What's your success rate at this point?
I would say, if I had to guess, 2 out of 5 kids. 5 kids that, because a lot of the kids, once they realize that we're pushing them and we're holding them accountable, they either go away and don't show back up, or they come and they're kind of spot on, spot off. But the ones that are consistent, I would say we turn out 2 out of 5 very successful entrepreneurs.
What does your kids or clients, where do they come from? What world do they come from?
They come from showing up to an event, or their parents showing up to an event saying, you got to meet this lady. She's crazy. She's an entrepreneur bully, but I want you to meet her. I've been called an entrepreneur bully. I've been called a mom mentor. I've been called a number of things to my face. Who knows behind my back? But my goal, Dennis, is to just push the kids to be the best they can be. I see some of these kids come in and I can see it all over them. I see me in them. And so I want to snatch that young girl, that young boy out of them and say, hey, I've been where you are. You can do this. There's greatness in you. Let me help you pull it out. And a lot of times that's a challenge because some of the kids aren't ready for it. And my husband also tells me, just ease off a little bit. And sometimes I do. But if I see it in them, Dennis, I go after it and I try to pull it out of them as best I can in love. Everything that I do is in love, positive energy, creating a good, safe space for the kids. When I say bully, I mean that in the nicest way. I have been called that, though. But ultimately, I'm trying to get the best out of them, and that's my goal. And if I see it in them and they stay consistent, I'm there for them all the way through. Even the kids that age out of the program, they never go away. I'm always with them. I'm always on them. If it's a text message, if it's a, hey, I think you need to be here. Hey, I saw this event. I want you to get to it. I want to make sure you're there. I continue to hold them accountable. And again, I have a support system that helps me with that task. And I've just been blessed. I've just been blessed in that capacity.
So you're still connected with the alumni?
Oh, absolutely. They never get away from me, ever. They probably wish they could, but they don't. And I think most of them appreciate it. We've turned out some really great stylists. We've turned out some phenomenal photographers. And these are all kids that came in before we actually established the one-on-one prep program. These are people that have worked with us in years past that just, I've become their mentors whether I was officially their mentor or not. And I continue to fit that role, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I love it.
Anything that I missed that we didn't talk about that you might want to add?
Not too much, just really that we're creating paths for kids that might not normally have one. I'm certainly not against the four-year university path. We encourage our kids. We have a son that just graduated from Texas Tech this past year with a four-year degree. We applaud that. We're proud of him. But we also realize that a lot of his friends that he went to high school with did not go off to college. They were creative-minded people. They were dancers. They were artists that didn't quite find a path. And so we want to be the change vehicle that allows them a space between high school and college to say, it's okay if you don't go to college. It's okay if you don't find a fit for yourself there. But you can still, based on your own gifts and talents, you can still start a business that is viable, that gives back to the community, that sustains you and your family, and let us help you do that. Let us help you structure a career. Let us help you structure a business that does just that for you, that helps you find your own path based on your own natural gifts and talents, that helps you sustain yourself and give back to your community.
A few questions for you real quick.
Okay.
All right. First things first, tell me who you are, spell your first and last name for me.
Kendall, Kendyll, Locke, L-O-C-K-E, Kendall Locke.
And you are a student?
Yes, I am a student of one-on-one prep, as well as I currently own and operate KD Social House Maintenance.
Okay. How did you find out about this program, Kendall?
Well, actually, it was through Miss Lexia. I was her friend on Facebook, and one day one of my clients needed a event space for an event that they were throwing, a lunch party. And so from there, I knew in the back of my head that she had this event space in Fort Worth. I heard people raving about it, heard people posting about it. So I said, well, let me go and shoot her an instant message. So I went, I inboxed her. I just kind of described to her who I was and what I had going on. And from there, she told me about the space. Everything was good. So later down the line, a couple of months ago, she actually tagged me in one of the posts about the program. And so I was like, okay, this sounds pretty good, because she wasn't the only person that had tagged me in the post. It was one of my aunts that had actually shared the flyer with me. And so from there, I was like, well, I need to go and check it out. And so instantly, from the first time that I've came to one of the one-on-one prep meetings, I've just instantly fell in love with it.
How long have you been part of the program?
Since the end of July.
Okay, okay. So So tell me about this business that you started, CEO.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So KD Social House Maintenance is a marketing and advertising firm. So within this business, I provide business owners, the opportunity to build their brand through a couple of different services that I provide. One of the main ones being social media management, as well as website development. Those are some major services that I provide to a wide range of business owners, as well as some politicians throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as graphic design, email marketing, any type of marketing tools that you may need as a business owner to help enhance your brand. I definitely can get you on that right path.
Gotcha. So were you in business before you came into this program, or had you just launched in the last 2 months?
Well, I actually was. I've been running my business officially since 2016. However, I've been doing this unofficially probably since 2014, just doing it for a couple of people that I knew, just running social media pages. They may ask, Kendall, can you come to my event and take some pictures? I was like, sure, if you have a camera, I'll get on there, I'll start taking some pictures. So, I mean, it's something that, it's been going on.
What has this program done to help you enhance your business to make it even further at this point?
Well, from the first time that I came to the one-on-one meetings, instantly one of the main things that Miss Alexia has taught us about was accountability. And so with that, it started with that whole accountability factor. That's something that kind of made me do some self-reflection as a business owner. And so from there, I kind of evaluated some things that I was currently doing within my business, and just kind of thinking about some things that I can enhance from there. But as I've continuously come to the program, there's many connections that I have made throughout the program with some of the fellow students, as well as with people within Miss Lexia and her husband's network, as well as some of the different events that they host here at Suite 101. I've been able to come, no problem, just come and meet a wide range of different professionals throughout the Metroplex that has really enhanced my network. So, I mean, in the capacity of building my network, as well as even, getting my vision and writing my vision down, because I've always had a vision as to what I was going to do once I graduated high school, as far as going to college, running a law firm, all of this stuff. But the business is something that kind of just actually started. It was just something one night I was reflecting about it, and I just said, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to leap out on faith. And so with that, once I came to this one-on-one program, it kind of allowed me to, put down everything that I want to do, where I'm trying to go, put it down on paper. I've built my vision board, and from there, it's just allowed me to just reflect back on what I want to do, on my goals.
You're 16, right?
Yes, sir.
Most 16-year-olds is playing video games and on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, sir.
And you trying to run a business. Where did that come from?
Well, I guess you could say it really all goes back to when I was 7 years old.
Really?
It goes back to my grandmother's, my Gigi's, her house. And so I remember every time in the summer, she used to make the best Kool-Aid ever, like the best Kool-Aid. So I was like, Gigi, let's start a lemonade stand. And so she was like, cool. And so I went and got me some signs made. I went and put them out throughout the neighborhood. I set up the table. And so every time I would come over to her house, we would do it probably 3 times a week. And so I would set up my lemonade stand, and I would have my table set up, have my signs. It was called KD's Hot Spot. And so I would sell lemonade. So I was selling the lemonade, doing all that, getting the money in, and I may have made $20 a day or something. Just something that, yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It was, and it was real good to me. I was like, well, dang, I'm making $20. I was thinking I was rich at that age. That's what I was thinking. But, really just going back to that whole when I was 7, it's always been a push throughout the members of my family and just my whole support system in general to just kind of embrace my ideas. And so with that, that kind of put me in that business mindset to start, this business.
What's your 5-year plan?
5-year plan is eventually, in 2020, I'll be graduating from Crowley Collegiate Academy, which is an early college high school. So I'll have my high school diploma as well as I'll have my associate's degree in humanities from Tarrant County College. So after then, I plan to go to Washington, D.C., where I want to go to Howard, major in political science. And from there, my main focus is going to be politics. I don't want to really leave the business all the way. I want to still have that operating and have a couple of corporate clients on my clientele list. But I do plan to get more into the political field, whether it be running for office or whether it be working for a current politician. So that's kind of going to be my shift and where I'm headed towards within the next 5 years.
Politics. Why
Yes, sir.
politics?
Well, politics is something that's real interesting to me. Even within, I guess I could say since my 9th grade year of school, I've had a teacher who actually, she kind of brought out the politics in me, because really in 8th grade I was doing UIL. So my UIL competition that I would always do was modern oratory. So basically I had to memorize a speech, I would talk about a controversial topic, and from there, I would give my opinion, and I would just talk for, 5 to 7 minutes about it. So from there, it was kind of like, okay, I kind of like talking about what I feel about different issues. And so in 9th grade, once I actually started taking the political science class, it just opened my mind up to so many things, so many different things that are going on within the world today, that I feel that I can kind of help as it relates to the whole policy making and decision making. So definitely that's kind of that still, as well as a few people that I know personally within church, and then one of my best friends' mom, she's actually on the city council here in Fort Worth. Just going and canvassing out with them during their time of election season, that just kind of even brought it out even more.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
You're very well spoken, without a doubt.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm just going to give you a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Get into voice worker radio.
Okay.
You got that voice at 16. You got that tone that
Mm-hmm.
work well in radio. Just an idea that with all the other things you got going on, if you got some time to put a podcast together or something like that,
Okay.
you definitely have what it takes to do that. Anything you want to tell me about that we didn't talk about that you might want to add that we're talking about here?
The only other thing that I would say is to any young person that may be watching today, never think that you're too young to get out and do something. The sky's the limit, and it really is. I know we constantly say that, your parents probably constantly say that, but it is really the limit, because never in a million years I would have thought that at the age of 16 I would have ran in and got this good mentoring program, and even have an established business with an established clientele. I wouldn't have thought that I would be going and doing speaking engagements for the Boys and Girls Club, speaking at galas, even working with some known people throughout the Metroplex. So if you have an idea and you have a vision, definitely, get with your parents, and even if your parents are too busy to assist you, get with somebody that will really support your ideas and your goals, and from there, get it moving. It doesn't have to be something to where you're just making millions of dollars or you're making thousands of dollars, whatever the case may be, but as long as it's something that you're really passionate about and it's something that you want to go, and you're not doing it for show, and you're not doing it for the fame or anything, you can do it, and you'll be blessed to, get everything going.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And once we get started, we'll be good to go here. Let's do something real. Count to 10 for me real quick.
Okay. Out loud?
Yeah, let's keep it going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, so you need to speak up just a little bit.
Okay.
You'll be fine. Good. All right, don't move.
Okay.
I can't see from the side. I can't.
Okay.
All right, first things first. First and last name. Spell it for me.
My first name is Lisette Garcia. It's spelled Lizeth. Garcia, Jarcia.
Okay, so tell me what it is that you do.
So I am the owner of Viva La Vida Designs. I am an artist, I am a seamstress, and a designer. But more importantly, I am a mom and a wife, also a dreamer. So what I do is I love painting, I love creating clothes, I love bringing visions to life, whether it's somebody else's vision or my own vision. I like to collaborate and bring that to life. Yeah.
So are you a part of the 101 program?
I am lucky enough to be part of the 101 program, but be mentored by Ms. Crawford. I think because I am a mom and also an entrepreneur, I am able to kind of like work out our schedules and see how we can meet and just make things work. So I am blessed.
What's your driving force behind doing what you do?
My passion, that need to create. Something that drew me to Lexia was her awareness in mental illness. And if you don't create, you will, somebody like me, if you don't create, you will sink into this hole of depression because you know you're capable of so much more. So you got like this need to create. So that's what drives me, is that need, that passion for art.
Before you came into 101, how were you making yourself go as far as building your business? You were just doing it because it was something you just wanted to do?
Yeah.
You didn't have no direct pathway at that point, correct?
I did not. It was really word of mouth. I've always been very fortunate to know really powerful women who are very talented in their own right and like to build up other women. So through that, through the network of HWT and now through 101, I've been able to build a clientele. But it's really been word of mouth. So what helped me with 101 is that we are a group of other entrepreneurs who are good at social media, who are great photographers. So although I do a lot of things, I can't do everything. And I love meeting other people who are really great at it, and we come together and then just build each other up.
But you, like I was about to say, you got several major things you're trying to
Yeah.
do now as
Yes.
one person. What's the one thing that you would actually, if you had to decide, which one would you think would be the one you would make the ultimate business for yourself?
I have decided that it's fashion design.
Okay.
It
Why
is.
fashion design?
So as a woman, I really like feeling empowered through clothing. And I know it might sound a little bit shallow, but it's not, because as a warrior, it's what how you show up to the world. You know, so and we look at these magazines and we look at social media, and I feel like it's so important to feel represented. So as an immigrant woman who is a plus size, considered a plus size, I feel it's important to look my best and to create clothes for other people that make them feel powerful, because how you show up to the world is just as important as what you can actually give to the world. So,
What's your 5-year plan?
My 5-year plan is to have my own boutique. To have my own boutique catering to custom fit clothing for business women, and also for quinceañeras and for weddings. So high couture and also ready to wear for the businesswoman.
Anything you want to add that we didn't talk about?
I just wanted to add that it doesn't matter at what age or in what part of life you're at. You can always make your dream come true, but it takes a team. It does take a village. So you just got to find your people. And you have to not put limits on yourself and just absolutely go for it, because nobody is going to give you the right to do whatever it is that you want to do. You have to just grab it and then find the people who are there for you and build them up and build yourself up at the same time.
Beautiful. That's what I needed. Thank
Awesome.
you.